The metallic tang of neglect hung in the air, a stark contrast to the vibrant life I once cultivated. As I stared at the lone, bleached coral skeleton, half bird and suffocating algae, a wave of shame washed over me. What have I done? The question echoed in the silence, a turning point in the 2-year decline of my reef tank. It was 10 months ago that this graveyard was unthinkable. My tank had been my sanctuary, a vibrant underwater world teeming with life. But somewhere along the way, I had lost my way, and the reef had paid the price. But how did I even get here? This question hovered over my head as to saying, you should know the answer to that one. You caused it. That's when I came to realize the reality of it all. I did cause this to happen. But what did I do that was so wrong as to wreak havoc on such a delicate ecosystem? It started subtly. Life, as it often does, became overwhelming. Stress mounted, and the vibrant colors of my underwater world, once a source of solace, began to fade into the background. My meticulous care routine, once a source of pride, became a chore. The vibrant reef tank, once my pride and joy, became a silent witness to my growing detachment. I remember the day I carefully placed the first coral frag, a tiny splash of purple in a world of white rock. It was a vibrant ecosystem teeming with life. Miniature ocean paradise in my living room. The rhythmic hum of the pumps, the gentle sway of the corals, the darling dance of the fish. It was a symphony of life that soothed my soul. But the music had slowly faded, replaced by an unsettling silence. This was a sad mistake. The once crystal clear water clouded, mirroring the fog that had settled over my own mind. I'd avert my eyes, the tank a constant, silent reminder of my failure. I knew what needed to be done. Water changes were crucial, a lifeline for the delicate balance of the ecosystem. They remove the accumulating waste and replenish essential elements, keeping the water parameters stable. But the water changes stopped. Arrogance, a dangerous companion to my growing apathy, whispered that I could get away with it. It's fine, I tell myself. I'll do it next week. But next week never came. I was harming my mental health, and now I was losing interest in the things that I loved so much. The corals, once vibrant and thriving, were the first to suffer. Their vibrant hues faded, replaced by the dull, lifeless white of bleached skeletons. The fish, once playful and energetic, became listless, their movements sluggish in the increasingly toxic water. I was committing one of the deadliest sins of reef keeping, using tap water. Forbidden the corals, as you have no idea what is in that water, or how it could interfere with the salt mix used to make up replacement water for the next thing that I neglected in doing in my reef tank, water changes. But since I was using tap water, it was now too late. The heartbeat that kept my tank alive was now being starved of the life-giving blood that would keep these invertebrates alive. On the rocks, hair algae grew as long as I could imagine. But at this point, I didn't care about what was really going on in the tank. Therefore, I just figured that it's just a part of the process of keeping a reef tank. Just let it do its own thing. Just keep it topped off with fresh tap water and let it go. What was I thinking? Was I out of my mind? Did I fail to realize that I was causing a domino effect or chain reaction, leading to the worst disaster I ever experienced in keeping a reef tank? Then came the snails and crabs, their tiny, lifeless bodies littering the sand, casualties of my negligence. Each death was a fresh pang of guilt, a stark reminder of my responsibility. I foolishly left them in the tank, to decay, a fatal error that fueled the next disaster: high nitrates. The levels, normally kept in check by a healthy ecosystem, skyrocketed. I'm not just talking about high nitrates. I'm talking about levels so high that I should have been banned from ever keeping a reef tank in the first place. If you want to know how high the nitrates were, they were above 200 parts per million. Phosphates, another crucial parameter, followed suit, reaching a disgustingly high level of 4 parts per million. The metallic tang of the water that day, the sight of that bleached coral skeleton, it was a clear punch in the gut. It was the culmination of months, years, of drifting away from a slow but steady descent into neglect. But it was also a new beginning, a second chance. That was 10 months ago. The shame of that moment fueled the change. I finally sought the help I needed for my mental health, and when it came, a renewed clarity. The road to recovery wouldn't be easy. Nothing happens fast on a reef tank. It took me 2 years to create this mess. It might take me 2 years to fix it, but I was determined. Hour after hour, I labored meticulously, scrubbing rocks, siphoning out the accumulated detritus, vacuuming out the sand bed, the rhythmic scraping, a reminder of my past neglect. I replaced the tap water with purified water, the foundation of a healthy reef, and performed water changes monthly. I also started adding beneficial bacteria from Dr. Toombs Aquatics called Waste Away to help clean up the waste that had built up over the years. I also added Brightwell's Aquatics, Microbacter 7, and Microbacter Clean. Slowly but surely, the tank began to respond. The algae receded, revealing the contours of the live rock. The water cleared, the metallic tang replaced by the fresh scent of the ocean. But the journey was far from over. But I knew now there is hope. I see it in the tiny mangrove trees tentatively reaching for the light. I see it in the vibrant green of the green chromis, darting playfully amongst the newly built aquascape, a carefully designed Indonesian mangrove biotope. This is my second chance, a testimony to the resilience of nature and the power of taking responsibility. Don't make the same mistakes I made. Don't let your inner struggles destroy the beauty you've created. Your mental health comes first. Take care of yourself, and in doing so, you'll be able to take care of the delicate ecosystems that depend on you. Happy reef keeping.